Hello, I'm John Rushton, the emotions expert. I'd like to talk about virtue signaling. It seems a common phrase today to be used by many people, virtue signaling, when people are telling you what you should think or how you should think and where you should go or what you should do or what you should support and why you should support it. And this has absolutely nothing to do with you. It's all to do with other people and the way they think you should do this, and you should put your money in here, and you should put your money in there, and so on and so forth. Now, there's nothing wrong with giving your money to various charities and organizations. Some of them are incredibly worthwhile and have been around a long time and do some tremendous work. There are others which are relatively new, and they support things which not everybody is au fait with. And also, it's one of the things, you go to a department store today, and the department store is telling you that they're supporting this charity and that charity and another charity and whatever, because it's something that the MD or his wife or somebody on the board decided it's prestigious for the company, and they will get some financial tax return dividends on that and whatever. So all of these things. But at the end of the day, do you want to go to a department store or supermarket and buy something which you think is hopefully good value? And out of that value, that supermarket is now giving money away because they think their money should go to this charity or that charity or whatever, because it's happening more and more. And if you give to a charity or charities or whatever, or you think what good causes are, you do that from your own volition. But when people spend your money on your behalf for other things, is that really what you want in life? Is that what you want? Some sort of nameless, faceless person is telling you what's good for your money? Because at the end of the day, all these department stores and supermarkets and whatever, you're paying for it. It's coming out of your money. And when you buy things, whether clothes, food, alcohol, cars, whatever, and they do something, and it's not just one or two charities, sometimes it's a handful, and they're giving away your money. And so every time things are going up in cost, you're putting a percentage of that, albeit a very small percentage, but nevertheless, it's a percentage of your money to a charity by default. And if you don't like that charity, well, tough luck. And as I say, there's nothing wrong with giving to charity. It's an admirable thing to do. But at the end of the day, if you go to companies and they start brandishing, virtue signaling what you should do with this, what you should do with that, what you should do, there's a lot of charities and organizations now which are up and running more than ever before, telling you about your life and how you should live your life and what you should do. And there are crackpots and stupid people in all of these, and they come forward. And the reason is that they are sort of loudmouth people. They Most people are not. They're quite sort of sedentary in their life and they keep to themselves. But other people are talking loudly about what they want and what you should do, and they make the press and the news, and they can be quite arrogant, and they can be quite sort of boastful as well about what is happening and where you should go and what you should be called and how you should be called and where you should do this and you shouldn't do this and I should be accepted because I'm this and most people haven't a clue what they're talking about most of the time because they don't come into contact with it. And it's not saying that people in minorities don't have a place or position, but when you get it thrust down your throat, you're told you need to do that and you haven't a clue what they're talking about, nor do you care either, because you can't care about everything. Because if you did care about everything, you end up actually not caring about yourself. You become a puppet. You become some sort of pawn in a game which other people are playing, and you just tied yourself into it. And once you tie yourself into something like that, you get sort of negative feelings. You get feelings that things are not going your way, that you're not in charge of who you are and what you're doing and what you're saying, because you've been fed by this sort of nonsensical information. And this is quite a real thing. There are people actually having mental health problems based on this. There's quite a lot of facts and figures coming out of people who are finding it difficult to cope with life because they're being bombarded with lots and lots of stuff from various fraction groups who think this is the only way forward and everybody should believe them and whatever. And people of a somewhat fickle disposition or a nervous disposition are listening to that and they don't understand and say, well, what about me? What am I going to do? What about my mental health? And so, oh, tough luck about your mental health. You must listen to what we do. Ours is more important. And so, therefore, you've got to understand where you're coming from, understand who you are, understand your position in life and what you want to do, and do whatever you need to do to be yourself. It doesn't matter if other people get upset or they don't like it. That's not your position. If other people get upset, it's their choice. If other people don't like it, it's their choice. You're not here to look at other people's choices. They deal with their choices, not you. So you actually got to feel this is where I'm going forward, and I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. I know you've got to pay money into supermarkets and things, and they still pay your money into charities which you may not like, or organizations which you may not like or support, but that's something else. But at the end of the day, do what you want to do. You must keep yourself afloat, and whatever you feel follows your heart, give to them accordingly. That way, you will stay on an even keel.